Do I see myself as a messianic figure? No, I don't think I do. How do I feel about churches? The chicken place or the places of worship? Church's chicken is good, but I've heard they have higher instances of food poisoning than any other fast food chain, so you might want to be cautious about that. Also, they're big on okra, which I'm not a fan of. As for the places of worship, I think they mostly exist as institutions of social adhesion. They bring communities together and shit, and make pastors rich, and you know they all get together and compare notes on what their little pea brains think is good and bad, and then when they come to a consensus, they call it God. Oh, pardon me. If I could talk to one philosopher from antiquity, probably Diogenes, dude. I've been on a real Diogenes kick lately, and it's so distressing that so little of his life and his works survive to this day. But what little there is, quite impressive. To me, anyway. Does the size of the universe bother me or inspire me? Um, I don't feel any particularly strong emotions. I feel like the scale of the universe. Um, you know, a tiny, insignificant thing like a virus can kill a person that's way bigger than it is. I don't think we should judge things in, as if size is what's important. That only matters with tits, asses, and cocks, and a few other things. But overall, size is not a good indicator of value. Value being a human construct anyway. You know, really, the universe that exists outside this world is not really part of our day to day human lives in any sort of hugely meaningful way, at least until an asteroid crashes into us or something. So to me, it's still a small world, even though it is a big universe outside of it. But who knows? I guess it doesn't really. I don't feel like, oh, I'm just this insignificant speck in the vastness of the cosmos. I mean, you know, I still there's things that are insignificant specks compared to me. There's things that I'm insignificant specks next to. You know, I'm smaller than a fucking elephant, but according to society, my life has more value than that of an elephant. Some people say I'm as fat as an elephant. I don't know. Maybe I'm not that much smaller. I'm just an elephant with no trunk. Opinions on objectivism and Ayn Rand. Yeah. I think of Ayn Rand as kind of the reverse Karl Marx. I think she has very good criticisms of communism. I think that her solutions to the problems that she identifies are stupid. Basically just the sentiments of today's libertarians. If you just remove government intervention, society will just beautifully cohere into this wonderful thing, and that government's the only thing that's basically standing between us and utopia, and if we just embraced the wonders of capitalism completely and utterly, we would find ourselves in a fucking paradise. And the most important people in society are the entrepreneurs, the business tycoons, and the people who accrue massive fortunes for themselves. That's, an accurate way to assess someone's worth to society and all that. I don't think the results are particularly good. I don't think the person who wrote the philosophy... part of the reason I like Diogenes is because he completely embodied his philosophy. Ayn Rand does not embody objectivism. That's not to say that because of her personal hypocrisy that discredits the whole thing, but I find it unimpressive that a person who espoused this philosophy that says, the only true worth of people is how much money they can have and all this stuff, and then she kind of died broke. She wasn't even that good at capitalism. So, So is she admitting that she's a worthless piece of shit? What's the standard? But when I was 15 years old, that Ayn Rand objectivism shit, I read, the first thing I read was the Virtue of Selfishness, which I think was just cobbled together from pieces of her other books. And it was pretty bad. But I was really impressed with it at the time. Like, yeah, a license to be a selfish prick. It's kind of a joke that people who read Ayn Rand kind of become assholes for a while afterwards. So that's what I did. And apparently there's a big libertarian conference happening not too far from where I live.
Libertarians?
Yeah, there's the libertarians are having their conference in New Orleans.
Oh, sweet.
So, I will be in attendance, No, I probably will not be in attendance. Do I think society can function without morals? I don't know. It's a cop-out answer, but you really have to define those terms before you can even have that discussion, because unfortunately that's a word that means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And you also kind of have to define the parameters of when a society is successful and all that. What constitutes the success of a fucking society?
Come on.
But I don't want to just totally get bogged down in definition bullshit. I'd like to try to answer your question. Can society function without morals? If you have a society where people are conscientious and empathetic, then I think that that is actually better than having a society that adheres to some arbitrary moral standards. But can you actually achieve that state? I take a look around humanity and I think it's kind of doubtful. A huge number of people, not a majority by any stretch, but a huge number of people are sociopaths and psychopaths, and those people will always have a distinct advantage over people who are good. Or maybe we won't use the word good, maybe just use the word empathetic, given to compassion to others. So I think that you end up with a society where the sociopaths are exploiting people, but I think that's what's already kind of happening with the morality anyway. The people who control the morals, the authority figures, disproportionately sociopaths and psychopaths, people who have no empathy. People like that are just natural leaders, because, when you have feelings of empathy towards your underlings, you might make decisions based on emotions and not wanting to hurt people and stuff, instead of pragmatic reasons. And often the pragmatic reasons are, going to lead to better results for obvious reasons. That's not to say that people can't succeed who are compassionate or empathetic, but it's just it's more challenging. It's like they said in Black Panther. I can't believe I'm quoting that, but it's hard for a good man to be king. If there was any wisdom in that movie, maybe that it was that corny line. I don't know if that answered the question, but there was some ruminating anyway. All right, cool. I'm glad that that you got an answer. I hope it was useful to you. Yes. Who knows what number of sociopaths do well and how many end up losers, though? I mean, it's been researched. You can just you could do a quick Google search. Just CEOs, sociopaths. There's certain professions that just attract teachers, disproportionately sociopaths. CEOs, disproportionately sociopaths. Politicians, disproportionately sociopaths. So yeah, I mean it's I don't know exactly how the research conducted, but was conducted, but those do seem to be the figures. Let me know if that's wrong. I sent a thing you should know about to Urine Paul's DMs on Twitter. Check it when you get the chance. All right. I'll just check it now. Come along. Let's check things. This better not be something stupid. All right. No, it's nothing crazy. It's just a retard trying to pirate our show. Nothing worth getting worked up about. Where is he pirating it? Just curious. Nice try. What's the best movie I've seen recently? I haven't enjoyed a movie I've seen in a while. Not something I've seen for the first time, anyway. Do I ever look back on my own work? Very rarely. But yes, it's not something I never do. Let's go outside in the darkness. Well, that chair is fucked. I guess we'll go into the theater area. Out of curiosity, have your years on YouTube made you comfortable hearing the sound of your own voice on recording? I've always liked my voice, so I wish it was a little deeper, but I've never been one of these people that's like, oh my god, I can't believe that's my voice. I've never been one of these people that feels that way. I know a lot of people do. A lot of people don't like the sound of their own recorded voice, but I have no problem with it. Have you ever been obsessed with anything you just don't understand why anymore? I feel that way about anything that I get obsessed with. Infinity War is insanely hyped. Well, I think that last trailer was pretty fucking good. I actually am getting kind of hyped myself for it, in spite of myself, because I really didn't think I could get too super hyped for it at this point. I thought I was kind of fatigued with this Marvel shit, but that last trailer I think kind of won me over a little bit. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it delivers on its promise. We'll see. Recommend you a book? I don't know. Read some fucking Krishnamurti or something. For some reason, it won't let me super chat. This is Secular from Kyle Talk. I am a happy Southern got banned from the UK. I always said ban ideas. It's the only way to win. This is not a win for her. Okay. How long do I think I have to live? I have no fucking clue. What's a movie you would be willing to watch if they re-released in theaters? Seven Samurai, I would watch. Unforgiven. Any of the Dirty Harry movies. Probably any Clint Eastwood Western. Probably any Kurosawa film, really, too. Maybe not The Bad Sleep Well. I didn't care too much for that. Krishnamurti is all one word, I believe. This is to aid your allergy to not having money. Thank you. A Clockwork Orange. I mean, if just for the rape scene, if nothing else, it's got to be the best rape scene ever. Are you in for a Dexter continuation, season 9, or reboot? I'd be down for a season 9. I think they should I think it should start with Dexter like waking up and being like, "Oh, the last 4 seasons were just a terrible, terrible dream. Here's what really happened." I'd see The Thing if that was in theaters. That's for sure. I don't hate Wes Anderson. Alien, I'd probably go see. I've seen 2001: A Space Odyssey in theaters before, but yeah, I'd see that again. I wish we got more rape scenes nowadays. Well, people are pussies. You could show like just wanton slaughter, but nothing to do with any sort of sexuality, especially if you mix sex and violence. That's when people really freak out. Could I see myself becoming a voice actor? I don't think I'm good enough with accents and shit, but I mean, I can do a few voices. But, I don't really pursue that. What new interest do you have now that you weren't interested before in any way? Philosophy. In the formal sense, anyway. Worst Manson album? Um, I would say Eat Me, Drink Me. I think I answered that a few nights ago as well. Are you cool with hard determinism? What does that mean? Hard determinism. Is being an adult an age or mentality? Or you said mentally, but I think you meant mentality. Um, I mean, it's an age. How should I listen to Manson? Should I start at his first album, or do you recommend a listening order? This is something a lot of people ask me about. I told people today on my Twitter to listen to Holywood at a deafening volume on a pair of headphones. I think that that's a good starting point. I think that if you can't get into that, then probably it's not for you. 1996 is my favorite Manson song. Thoughts? It's a good song. I like the live version where he speaks the verses and only sings the chorus. I think he should do that again. TJ, if you took an IQ test, you could quell all the criticisms that you're a pseudo intellectual. I mean, would I though? Go watch a YouTube video. I forget the guy's name, but he has a IQ of 200, and listen to his ideas. He's batshit insane. I would have no problem sitting down and having an argument with him. I would not be intimidated by his IQ of 200. He's a psycho. He's a neurotic fucking psychopath. I'm sorry. Yeah, Chris Langan. I think that's right. You just can't understand him, TJ. I understand him. I just think he's a fool. So I don't know. Stefan Molyneux? Yeah, I think Stefan Molyneux actually has the highest IQ in the world. I think Stefan Molyneux's IQ is probably like 20,000. Us mortals can't even begin to comprehend Stefan Molyneux, dude. How am I doing? I guess I'm doing acceptable. What do you think of the development of AI and advanced robots like EATR? Do you think we are creating our own doom as a species? I don't know. It just depends on if self-interest is an emergent property of intelligence. And there already does seem to be some evidence to that point. You know, machines have shown the ability to deceive each other in acts of self-interest that they weren't programmed for. So if that's an emergent property, then I think we're probably fucked. If the more we imbue something with intelligence, it starts to develop a sense of self and a sense of self-interest and a sense of self-preservation. If that's just something that happens, that, you know, we can't program out of it, then yes, I think we're fucked. But if you can make something really smart but have no sense of self and no sense of self-preservation, then I think that we can use it to our advantage in tremendous ways. But I don't know. So it depends on the answer to that question, I think. TJ, did you read the Daily Beast article on your old pal JF? If you have, what are your thoughts? I personally believe it was a hit piece, even though I think JF, as of late, has been a dumbass. I mean, obviously it's a hit piece. I mean, it's just a matter of, is it an accurate hit piece? I really don't know. I mean, you know, it's really easy to look at someone's life and decisions and make criticisms, but you know, we didn't walk in JF's shoes. We weren't inside his head feeling the feelings that he felt at the time. You know, we weren't privy to his thoughts or emotions, so we don't really know what his decision-making process was or what his intentions were. So I don't think it's fair to try to judge and come to some sort of condemnation. But I'm not prone to condemn people in the first place unless they bother me with their stupidity, which JF doesn't do. If I don't like JF's opinion, I can simply ignore it. What career would I pursue besides writing and YouTube? I'd like to direct some films at some point. Don't know who is JF. Well, then it doesn't matter to you. But can you ignore my opinion? I can. I usually don't. As big of a pain in the ass as you are, you do at least usually have something to say. I can admire at least that about you, director. Who's my favorite director? I like Tarantino a lot. I like Kurosawa, Kubrick. Those three probably are like the god tier for me. There's really no other directors I can think of that I just go see everything they do and think, wow, that was great. Wow, that was great. Wow, that was great. Clint Eastwood had a pretty decent run as a director for a while, but I think that's kind of past. What film deserves to be remade? Deadly Friend. That deserves to be remade. Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think that probably deserves a remake. Best remake I've seen. The Thing. Favorite dance style. Something where a girl with a large ass jiggles her ass. Could be twerking or any variant thereof. Just got here. What have I missed? You have missed nothing. Did Andy Worski commit sexual assault? I don't know. Did he? Right here, right now. Ban Asian rubbers? Have I seen There Will Be Blood? Yes, I saw it a couple of weeks before it opened nationally because I was a member of the Arrow Theater in Santa Monica, California. I was sitting next to a woman who nearly spoiled the movie because when, oh, spoilers by the way, when Daniel slaughters Eli in the bowling alley, she was all like, "No, no!" I'm like, "Shut up, bitch. No one asked for your fucking commentary on this." Thoughts on National Bolshevism? I have none. Are we like living in fucking Russia? What's going on? I've abandoned my child. That's a good first step. Top 3 favorite numbers. 333 and 333. Is Paul microchipped? No, but he always comes back, you know. He'll wander off for a few days. He'll come back kind of muddy. We got to hose him off. Whatever happened to my marriage, it ended. What is going on? Nothing. Nothing in particular. TJ, be nice. I am sometimes. But not usually. It's usually a waste of time. Clifford.
Dude, that's a great movie.
That is a really annoying, obnoxious movie.
What?
Well, I think I'm going to watch stuff with Paul. Fuck you guys.